The Joe Burrow recap. Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr, Joey Franchise are just a few nicknames from the former highly touted NFL prospect and now NFL quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Today we'll recap on Joe's life, starting with Joe's younger years. Next we'll move into the college life, and then Joe's life in the pros. In 1996, Joe was born in Ames, Iowa, where his father was an assistant coach at Iowa State University, home of Cyclones, of course. And at a young age, Joe moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, where his dad took an assistant coaching position at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. Joe spent the next few years in Fargo, North Dakota, is where he thought he was going to grow up and live because his father had a job at North Dakota State University as their defense coordinator. But plans began to change as he took a job at Ohio State University as their defense coordinator. Joe moved to Athens, Ohio, which is not very far from Columbus, and that's where he spent his high school years. In 2014, at the end of his career, Joe ended up passing for 12,000 yards, 160 touchdowns, while rushing for 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Joe was named a Max Preps All-American and was one of the better quarterbacks in the country. Joe then redshirted his first year at Ohio State after committing early in his senior year, and with a quarterback room ahead of him that was full, there was not much room for him to play. Joe sat 2 years behind J.T. Barrett and Dwayne Haskins, both NFL quarterbacks who have made millions of dollars in the NFL, as he transferred to Louisiana State University to play under Coach Ed Orgeron. In 2018, the Tigers, led by Joe Burrow, went 10-3 and finished sixth in all of college football. Joe threw for 2,800 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions on a defense-heavy LSU 2018 team. In 2019, the Tigers had a tough road ahead of them as Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Oklahoma were all ranked ahead of them. Going into the 2019 season, LSU followed up their expectations by going 12-0 in the regular season, beating Georgia to make it 13-0 and going to the National Football Playoff. LSU beat Oklahoma by 35 to advance the national championship to play the other Tigers in the other Death Valley. They played Clemson, where they beat them, where they were down early 14-0, but ended up beating them 42-24. Joe was named the Heisman Trophy winner, which is the best football player in the college football that season, and was hyped up during the NFL draft. Joe was picked number 1 overall by the Cincinnati Bengals as they were rebuilding and they needed a quarterback, and they thought Joe was their guy. There was 58 players invited to the NFL draft. Joe was one of them, obviously being the number 1 prospect. In 2020, Joe's season ended very early as he tore his ACL during his rookie season, which led many to believe if he was injury-prone quarterback or not. In 2021, the next season, Joe brought the Cincinnati Bengals to a championship where they came up short to the Los Angeles Rams, and Joe had a fresh start the next season. With a new offensive coordinator, the season started off rough as they went 0-2 to start the season, but they ended up making it to the one win away from the Super Bowl as they beat the Ravens and the Bills, but they came up short to the Kansas City Chiefs. In 2023, Joe just got his first paycheck that was not off his rookie deal, as he got paid 5 years, $275 million, which is the highest paid NFL player of all time. Today, we recapped Joe's younger years, the college life, and Joe's life in the pros. This is Joe Burrow, and he's smoking a cigar, and it was really, really cool and I'm just trying to talk a little bit more because I'm running out of time. So, yeah, he won the national championship. Okay.